So, President Trump's Saudi visit is the most epic visit in the history of the United States. By the way, Saudi was the first foreign country President Trump visited in his first term. And this time also, Saudi becomes the first foreign country President Trump visited in his second term. A lot of things happened, a lot of pictures were taken, and an insane amount of commitments were made. So today, we're breaking down one of the most significant economic and strategic developments of the decade, a $600 billion investment commitment by Saudi Arabia into the United States. This is not just a trade agreement. It is a massive strategic alignment that touches everything from defense and infrastructure to space and artificial intelligence. So why is Saudi Arabia making this move? What does the U.S. stand to gain, economically and geopolitically? And how does this shift the balance in global power, especially vis-a-vis China and the Middle East? Let's unpack this. Well, the United States and Saudi Arabia have shared a close, often complex relationship since the historic 1945 meeting between King Abdulaziz and President Franklin Roosevelt aboard the USS Quincy. In 2025, that relationship just entered a new era. President Donald Trump has announced that Saudi Arabia is committing $600 billion in investments focused on U.S. industries, from defense and infrastructure to AI, minerals, and medicine. This is being called the largest package of commercial agreements in the history of U.S.-Saudi relations. But before all the things, I want to show you all how the Saudi government welcomed President Trump. First, Saudi Air Force F-15 warplanes escorted Air Force One, carrying President Donald Trump as it arrived in Saudi Arabia. Now, this move is done by any government only when they have extreme trust and respect for another country whose leader is arriving or leaving their country. Here you can see the level of arrangement and respect Saudi is showing to President Trump. This is not done by them for any other world leader, not even for Putin. Here, you see purple carpets are spread on the floor. A special kind of welcome is given to Trump, with horses following his car. So this is truly special for Trump and for Saudi leaders as well. Also, Trump's Saudi speech is going viral all over the world, where he was saying, "It is God's job to sit in judgment, my job to defend America and to promote the fundamental interests of stability, prosperity, and peace." Please have a watch of this short clip.
I believe it is God's job to sit in judgment, my job to defend America and to promote the fundamental interest of stability, prosperity, and peace. That's what I really want to do.
Fabulous speech. But now, if we come to the deals and all the investment plans that Saudi and the USA committed to each other, then it is massive. Here you see the official government White House page has published detailed data of all the deals and investment plans that are committed by both countries. So let's first start with technology and infrastructure deals. Saudi firm DataVolt will invest $20 billion in American AI data centers and clean energy infrastructure. Tech giants like Google, Oracle, AMD, Salesforce, and Uber are partnering to invest $80 billion across both economies. U.S. companies like AECOM, Hill International, and Parsons are leading multi-billion-dollar infrastructure projects in Saudi Arabia, including King Salman International Airport and Qiddiya City. This means U.S. service exports in this space alone are hitting the $2 billion mark. Now in defense and security, history is made. A $142 billion defense deal, the largest ever between the U.S. and any country, includes fighter jets, missile defense systems, maritime security upgrades, border control technology, training programs for Saudi armed forces. So this is clearly a massive win for U.S. defense contractors, and it further cements America's position as the leading military technology supplier in the Gulf. Now commitments are also made in healthcare and industry. Saudi-backed Shamak 4 Solutions is investing almost $6 billion, including a facility in Michigan to manufacture high-capacity 4 fluids. This means real jobs and industrial growth for American communities. And now, if we come to energy and minerals, then new agreements between the U.S. Department of Energy and Saudi Arabia will strengthen cooperation in energy infrastructure and critical mineral supply chains, a key area in competition with China. Also in space sector, a Saudi CubeSat will fly aboard NASA's Artemis 2, contributing to U.S. broader mission in deep space exploration. This shows just how much U.S. space diplomacy is expanding. Well, the U.S. and Saudi economic relationship is already very strong. In 2024, two-way trade between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia reached $26 billion, with the U.S. enjoying a trade surplus. And now, a new air transport agreement allows American carriers to fly cargo between Saudi Arabia and third countries without returning home, a crucial edge in global logistics. Now, the main question is, what the United States gains from these deals and commitments? Well, there are massive gains for the U.S. that include massive foreign direct investment, expansion of U.S. jobs, especially in energy, aerospace, and advanced tech, strengthened leadership in the defense sector, greater access to critical minerals, a hedge against China's dominance, a more interconnected position in the Middle East without boots on the ground. So, this is economic diplomacy at its best. And for Saudi Arabia also, now they can have access to U.S. military hardware and training, diversification of their economy under Vision 2030, global partnerships in AI, energy, and space, a stronger soft power presence through museums, sports, and conservation. And all this while strengthening its role as a key player in multipolar diplomacy. And even if you look at how Trump left Saudi Arabia, then you can clearly see how happy Saudi leaders were. You can see in their eyes that a kind of lost respect is gained again. Mohammed bin Salman himself came to drop him off to Air Force One, and this is truly amazing. Now China may see this as a loss, especially as Saudi Arabia deepens tech and defense ties with the West. But the message here is clear. The United States is not retreating. It is strategically investing, building alliances, and securing long-term global influence. So, whether you look at this as a business win, a defense milestone, or a geopolitical maneuver, the $600 billion Saudi investment is a landmark achievement in American diplomacy and economic policy. And it's a clear sign that the United States remains the most attractive destination for high-stakes, high-value global partnerships. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you all have a wonderful day.